Namaste everyone. Welcome to my channel Ashwin's Astrology. On 31st of March 2024, planet Venus, Shukra, will be transiting to Pisces, Meena Rashi, which is the exaltation sign of Shukra. This brings major changes across the world. Venus transit predictions will be done in two parts. In this video, I'll focus on providing mundane level predictions and individual moon sign predictions from Mesha to Kanya. In next video, I'll cover the rest of the moon signs, Tula Rashi to Meen Rashi, and also will provide remedy at the end of next video. If you want to know only for your moon sign, please make use of timestamp provided in description for both the videos. So let's begin by knowing who is Venus Shukra. Shukra or Rishi Ushana is his birth name, is son of Maharshi Bhrigu, who is known as father of Vedic astrology. There is a separate branch of astrology, Bhrigu Nandinadi, which is also known as Bhrigu Samhita. This explains the Vedic astrology principles coined by Maharshi Bhrigu. As per Shiv Mahapuran, once during the war between Devtas and Asuras, to help Devtas, Bhagavan Shiva swallowed Rishi Ushana. Rishi Ushana, being in the stomach of Bhagavan Shiva, chanted all the Shiva stotras to please Shiva. Thus got released as semen from Shiva. Pleased by his devotion, Mata Parvati and Bhagwan Shiva named him as Shukra. And that's why Shukra is also known as son of Mata Parvati and Bhagwan Shiva. In Sanskrit, semen is known as Shukra. Also blessed him with various boons. That's why all feminine karakatvas and all materialistic pursuits are governed by Shukracharya. Now let's see what are the karakatvas or significations of Shukra in nutshell. The positive significations, that is when Venus is placed well in the horoscope, then he gives all these significations: pleasure, luxury, comfort, attraction, charmness, conveyances, vehicles, vision, immortality, love, lust, marriage, conjugal life, that is the sexual life, culture, heritage, music, art, dance, graphics. All these are the positive significations of Venus. So the gemstone which is recommended for Venus is diamond. Now moving to the negative significations or the body parts which is governed by Venus. So firstly, let's see the negative significations. That is renunciation, intoxication, illusion, extramarital affairs. All these comes under the negative significations. So when Venus is not placed well, the person will renounce all the materialistic pursuits and would like to become a sannyasi. And when Venus is afflicted with any other negative or the malefic planets, then the person could be intoxicated, would be in illusion, or will get accustomed to extramarital affairs as well. So the body parts which are governed by Venus are semen, kidney, gallbladder, and reproductive organs. So these are the significations of Venus. As per the scriptures, we have a mantra for Shukra also. Please, Shukra. Himakunda Mrinalabham Daityanam Paramam Gurum Sarvashastra Pravaktaram Bhargavam Pranamamyaham. So this shloka defines about Shukra, who is the son of Bhrigu, and he is a learned acharya of all scriptures, Sarva Shastra Pravaktaram. So he is well versed in all scriptures, all kinds of shastras, and he is the Parama Guru of Daityas, that is Asuras. So this shloka defines, and this shloka is a very important shloka to chant and to please Shukra. So now let's move it to the mundane level predictions and then to the individual moon sign prediction. From mundane perspective, if we see, this transit is happening in the 8th house from the Lagna. So Venus represents media, films, uh, or music, and all the complete entertainment industry, and also all the luxurious stuffs or even cosmetics, and also mainly private sector, the corporate sector also is represented by Venus. Corporate is usually with along with Saturn, it is Venus, but Venus being the very prime one, so we do consider Venus also for the corporate, which is a private sector. So all these fields will face the effects of Venus transit. Venus exalted is very good, so there will these all these industries will have great amount of income during this time period. There will be a very good turnover also, because it is conjunct with Sun and Rahu. They and also Venus will be participating in the eclipse also. We might see some amount of scams or any scandals coming out, any extramarital affairs, or rise in extramarital affairs, rise in divorce cases. This also might come into picture, so that is also seen here. And Venus Rahu conjunction has and when it gets very close, because Venus is currently in Purva Bhadrapad Nakshatra, the last quarter, last charan of Purva Bhadrapad. So once he moves to Uttara Bhadrapad, we'll see a lot of mass layoffs also, because Venus will be in Uttara Bhadrapad, which is a Shani's Nakshatra, and at the same time, Shani will be in Purva Bhadrapad Nakshatra. So because of this, we can see a lot of mass layoffs also, because Venus Saturn connection would be there to represent that private sector or the corporate sector. And because Venus is also participating in the eclipse, so we may see the effects of it on certain female politicians, or for the entertainment industry also. They would be making good amount of money at one side, but they might start facing many scandals coming out, or any scams involved in it, or any filmy personality connected to politics will face a lot of criticisms and will face a lot of problems also. If they are running through good time period, or have a good promise in their horoscope, then they might be able to defeat their enemies and be victorious, because this is a natural 12th house and will be aspecting the 6th house. And because Venus is at a very good strength, so no matter what kind of allegations or criticisms these people face, they'll be able to withstand it, because Venus is exalted. So this is one thing very much noted. So till the time Venus is in Pisces, so entertainment industry is advised to be very cautious, because this can yield very good results, but at the time, if you are cautious, it will um, stop your, it will avoid unnecessary expenditures also for you. So it might be any shooting spot could be affected, or they might face some problems from the public also. So any kind of things we can definitely expect when Venus is in Uttara Bhadrapad Nakshatra. So from private sector as well as from entertainment industry, this could be the one. And from the cosmetic in the cosmetics, or from any chemical factory also, for the chemical factory also, during this time period, they may face any fire accidents, or any kind of um, unexpected uh, changes as well, or sudden incidents. So there could be a leakage of chemical energy, or there could be a leakage of chemicals or poisonous gases. And chemical factories might try to throw the garbage, and it might lead to some adverse circumstances also. So that is also noted, and especially these things may happen uh, in those places which are very close to fishy or coastal areas, where fishing would be, fishing or marine services, or those activities are carried out. So either through the Arabian Sea, or the Gulf side, or the Bay of Bengal side. So it is more seen there. And even in the western country perspective also, so where fishing and also all the marine activities are more in number, there we can see this any leakage of poisonous gases, or even chemicals also, leakage of like not a in a not a legal way, and this may lead to the chemical companies being subjected by government, or questioned by the government, or even um, getting some kind of troubles also from legal perspective also is noted, because Venus is in Jupiter's Rashi. So legal and everything definitely comes, and they are surrounded by Saturn, Jupiter. So that is very much noted. So from mundane perspective, this is a very good time period also, and definitely there are problems also because the amplifier Rahu is present there. So Venus Rahu combination might be very good from the monetary perspective, but it will make people spend same amount of time to the same extent also. So that is also noted. So this could be a very good time period also, but mass layoffs also are expected because Venus represents private sector. So many organization, especially investment banks or any software industry or any animation graphics related, they will have a very good boost. But uh, due to because Mercury is going backward and being retrograde there, so there could be some decisions which would be taken, and they may experience some amount of troubles also during this time period. So investment banks, this private sector, graphics or animation, these industries, especially software also, there's a high threat to it because Venus is also, Venus Rahu put together is very karaka for software, graphics, and all those creative fields. So they may see a mass layoffs also during this time period because it's a natural 12th house, and also from the transit perspective it's happening in the 8th house. So this is also noted from the mundane perspective. So apart from this, we don't see much major changes because this transit would happen only for 15-20 days, and Mercury would come in and then go back, and Sun also would come in, will actually move out from here and will move to Aries sign, Mesh Rashi. So this effect would be largely for the next 20-25 days actually. Largely, max to max, if we see also 20-25 days would be the large extent which we can stretch. So now let's move to individual moon sign. So first, starting with Mesh Rashi. So for Mesh Rashi, this transit is happening in 12th house. So Venus transit in 12th house is very good. You will feel some amount of relaxed, and you will enjoy a very good time period with your spouse actually. So you might go on a long vacation and you might spend some good time period because your fifth lord and seventh lord is uh, conjuncting in the 12th house along with Rahu. So at a foreign location, at a very um, long distance location, you might experience some good leisure time has well. So that's a good time period from that point of view. Because of Jupiter Mercury conjunction for very short time period, because after my May 10th you will not be able to see this conjunction. So the next 4-5 days or the next 1 week you might get a lot of ideas which you might try to implement, and that will yield good amount of results. So this is the time for action also for you because your third and ninth lord is getting conjunct in your Rashi, which is highly appreciated and which is very good also because Jupiter Mercury in the Rashi is very good because it makes a person intelligent, wise, and also will improve your acumen also. So your skill set, everything. So because Saturn is also aspecting, so this is very good. Your Rashi Adhipati is in 11th house, so that is good. But just that Venus, Rahu, Sun, all conjunction is in 12th house, you might make some unnecessary expenditure, and because of which you might face some amount of shortage in money also. So your accumulations or your savings might be nil for this month particular because you will spend most of the things to satisfy your wants than fulfilling your needs. So you will buy many luxurious stuffs or want to experience some very costly services as well. So for your own desires, so this definitely comes at a price, and that's why it could be a bit problematic from the monetary perspective. So do have a check on what you're spending. It's good to relax, it's good to enjoy, but also please do be careful that how much money you are spending and how much you are able to save, because this should not rupture your personal finance as well. From health perspective, your existing issues will persist. So people having eye related issues or vision related issues, you might get in touch with a doctor and get try to get it operated, and this could happen during this time period. But because an eclipse is also happening, please be very careful. Even a slightest mistake, okay, this can actually prove to be very wrong for your Rashi. because Rahu conjunction there, it's good for surgeries to get it done, but Venus, Sun, and Rahu, and also it is causing an eclipse, so this is not advised. It will definitely bring a kind of solution for your eye issues, but also for heart related also, because Sun Venus is main important for eyes, so that's why I'm mentioning. So that's why this time period, it is advised to go for second opinion before proceeding with any kind of eye surgeries. So that is for the Mesh Rashi, because it might yield a very big hospital bill also, because which I was mentioning from a long time, that Rahu in the 12th house means either some big investment or some big expenditure is noted. So with the 12th lord, Jupiter is moving out of your Rashi, and Rahu gaining the complete strength here, because he is already in the 21 degree of mean Rashi. So you might start experiencing that negative results from expenditure perspective. So that is one thing very much noted. So apart from this, I don't see much things for Mesh Rashi. So now moving ahead to Vrishabh Rashi. So for Vrishabh Rashi natives, uh, this transit will be happening in 11th house, and Venus is your Rashadipati. So Venus being your Rashadipati exalted in 11th house is a very good thing, and also your fourth lord Sun and also Rahu. So you might spend more and more amount of time in beautifying your house, or in beautifying your things and all the things around you, vehicles, or you might buy a new vehicle also, or you might spend lavishly for your own personal pursuits as well. So during this time period, there will be a good flow of income also for you, and you will spend most of them, because your second lord Mercury is in 12th house and very soon will move to 11th house. So you might spend most of the uh, time in thinking of beautifying your stuffs, and you might spend a lot of money also over that, so that is also noted. And if you have had any prior investments and which is yielding good amount of profits, you might realize those profits also during this time period. It is a very good time period. And your 7th and 12th lord Mars is in the 10th house as well as with Saturn. So you might get an opportunity to go onshore or to work on a new project which will yield much better results. So you will get a very good hold, or you will get a new kind of roles and responsibilities also, which you will like it. And this could be a good time period from career, but you should avoid any kind of heated arguments, especially with your manager or higher managers, because uh, the 7th and 12th lord Mars is in Rahu nakshatra, and very soon Shani will be moving to Purva Bhadrapad nakshatra. So your management would be in a very wise and a very poised manner, would convey things to you, but because of Mars in Rahu nakshatra, you might have the tendency to fight with them or to involve in heated arguments, which will give some kind of setbacks also in career. So why to spoil the image, or why to spoil your time when you are having all good time period over the like in all ways it's a good time period for Vrishabh Rashi. So why to spoil it when you have such good time period is my advice. So don't involve in any kind of heated arguments. So take whatever you are getting in your plate right now. In future you will get much better results. So next, moving to Gemini or Mithun Rashi. This transit will be happening in your 10th house. So Venus Rahu conjunction in 10th house will make you workaholic, especially if you are in private sector or in public sector also. So this time period could be a very troublesome or very long working hours also, you will see. So especially if you are in private sector, you might end up being in office for a very long time period as also, and it could be a bit hectic also. You might struggle managing multiple things at the same time, and you might have to practice multitasking also, because of sun presence in the 10th house and also afflicted with Rahu. So you might have had, or you might have some kind of conversations with higher management which will not be fruitful, and you may not like to accept it, but you would be forced to accept it. So that's also noted, because your Rashapati Mercury is in the 11th house. So in some ways you are dissatisfied, but then you might try to reconcile and also to adjust with whatever they say, so that also can happen. So Mars, who is the 6th and 11th lord, is in the ninth house. So your fortune may not favor to you to a great extent during this time period, but it will be fruitful by the end of the Venus transit, that I can mention. And Venus transit in Purva Bhadra and in Uttara Bhadra nakshatra would be very favorable to you. And once Venus moved to Revati nakshatra, the last 5 6 days of this transit, that is somewhere in April 3rd week, you might start facing some uneasiness or from health wise, especially for your child. Actually, especially for your child, you might face some kind of uneasiness, or your child may suddenly fall sick, so you have to pay attention to your child as well. But overall, this could be a very good time period for the progress of your child. So if your child is looking for any abroad chances, or looking for any learning or education in the abroad, so it could be a very good time period. And also for Mithun Rashi natives who are expecting some great opportunities in overseas, so this also might serve as a good time period. So overall for Mithun Rashi, this is not a problematic kind of time period, because all the planets are in ninth house, 10th house and 11th house. So definitely this should give good results, and it will give good results. Just that you need to be bit cautious, bit more organized and disciplined to manage all the results. So that's one thing very much noted for Mithun Rashi. Next, moving ahead to Karka Rashi. So for Karka Rashi natives, this transit is happening in ninth house, and Venus is your 4th and 11th lord. So Venus being the 4th and 11th lord in the ninth house is very good for materialistic pursuits. So you might enjoy a good time period with your family, with your uh, parents also, and also with your relatives. There could be some function at your home which would be attended by all your relatives, and you might have very good time period also meeting most of them. And you might have even a long distance travel also. So people who are having any Rahu Dasha or Venus Dasha during this time period may actually travel a long distance also, and also to Tirth Yatra also, because Venus, Sun and Rahu in ninth house. So any kind of Ganga Snan also is possible during this time period, because it's in the watery sign also. So it is of a much more possibility. So that is noted very much. And because the transit of Mercury is happening in the 10th house, so people into investment banking or into accounting field, or who are chartered accountants and are of Karka Rashi, you will have a very good time period from the profession perspective. And Mars, who is your yoga karaka, is in 8th house, so will try to protect your interest in any kind of legal cases, especially inheritance cases. So this could be a time period where certain inheritance the property cases may reach to conclusion also, because Shani will be moving to Purva Bhadrapad nakshatra, and Mars is there in Shatabisha nakshatra in the 8th house. So he might protect your interest, and you might expect some good results also during this time period, because your Yokaraka is getting the job done. Your moon is debilitated. That is very much noted. This whole transit of Venus is happening when moon is debilitated. So this time period, emotionally and mentally, you might be completely distressed, and you might not be willing to do any kind of activities. But your Yokaraka, who is in a very good action, will help you out and will solve out many issues for you. So this is for Karka Rashi. Next, moving ahead to Simha Rashi. For Simha Rashi natives, it's happening in 8th house, and it's not a good transit. So Venus Rahu conjunction in 8th house. So if you are into any extramarital affairs, you might get exposed during this time period. And because of Venus Sun Rahu, so any female from the entertainment industry, also connected to politics, and is of Simha Rashi, you might face legal troubles also, and you might face a lot of criticism from public and unwanted stuffs during this time. If you are involved in any scam, scandal, all those would be exposed. So for Simha Rashi natives, this is not a good time period. And from the extramarital affairs perspective, from relationship perspectives, you might definitely face some amount of problems. That is very much noted. And your fifth lord Jupiter is in the ninth house, along with the second lord Mercury, who is the Dhanyokarak. So That's why this time period could be very good for your children, but for yourself it may not be as fruitful as thought of. So Venus and Rahu in 8th house is not good, and it is also not good uh, for your own life as well. If you are in those kind of dasha antar dashas, and you are of that uh, certain age also, then this could prove to be fatal also for you. So this is for Simha Rashi. And next, moving ahead to Kanya Rashi. So for Kanya Rashi natives, you already have Rahu Ketu in 1/7 axis. Now again one more eclipse in the 7th house, and that too with Venus. So if you have any relationship issues during this time period, especially with spouse, then you'll face a lot of problems. And in from the business partnership perspective also, this might cause some amount of loss or some rupture of relationship or the partnership as well is noted during this time period. So and also for your own image or for your uh, respect and dignity also in the society, this could be a threat. So you might experience people speaking about you in behind because of Ketu in the Rashi, and also Venus, Sun and Rahu in Meen Rashi, which is a watery sign. So you might actually see a lot of problems created by your own colleagues also, and also from your own family members also, which makes you feel hurt also. So that is also noted. So overall this time period could be a bit problematic only, because sixth lord has sun Saturn, and sixth house has six Saturn and Mars, and seventh house has Venus, Sun, and Rahu, and eighth house has Jupiter, Mercury. So unexpected fame also is noted, but in a very wrong way. That's also noted. So I'll make a separate video for the eclipse, and as well as for the upcoming uh, Yugadi also. So please do note the predictions there also, because this transit predictions, even though applicable for 20-25 days, will be mainly based on the way the new Samvatsara, the new year starts, and also on the eclipse, because which will be happening in your 7th house. So this is not a generally this is not a good time period for Kanya Rashi. So in the next video, I'll continue from Tula Rashi to Meen Rashi. Until then, thank you and have a good day.